So a post-holiday party.
A post-holiday party. It makes no sense. And it's the last thing you want to do.
It's kind of exhausting.
Yeah.
I mean, just you get through the holidays and it's so fun.
Yeah.
But then as soon as they're over, it's like, okay, it's time to move on.
Exactly.
So what are you guys doing to prepare to get back in that holiday spirit?
Oh my God. I don't know. I guess I'll get dressed up.
Yeah, wear some sequins.
Yeah, put some
Maybe
sequins
you
back
should
on.
borrow this dress that I got for this holiday season.
The red one?
No, not the red one. The Dolly Python one that is black with gold sequins. I think you need to wear this.
Okay, that might help.
I think you have to wear this because that will definitely get you in a festive mood.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
Okay,
I went
totally try it.
I went to buy it as a joke, but now I'm like,
it's amazing.
It's amazing.
I saw you in that. I saw a picture of you. You looked pretty amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I felt pretty.
Yeah. Well, that's what I need. If we can recreate that.
You totally need that. And you need to make maybe you need to make some eggnog. Can we go there?
We can go there. I love eggnog, so it wouldn't be too hard to go back there.
And you guys hit it pretty hard, I feel like, this holiday season with the eggnog.
We did.
Almond milk eggnog.
Yes, almond nog.
Almond nog, that's right.
They also make oat milk nog.
Ooh.
Oat milk nog.
That's a mouthful. Hey, to do their marketing. That's impressive. Okay, I like that. I bet the oat milk nog is delicious. I think is there a period between each of those, at the end of each of those words? Oat milk nog. That had 2 dots. 3. For effect. Had to pause. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So now,
okay, I'll get some pre-drinks.
Okay,
and some sequins.
Yes,
and I might get there.
Put on some holiday music.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, everybody needs to know where the boundary is. I think we just found
where I draw the line.
We just found it. Yeah, that would be tough.
Yeah. So, and it's his work. It's his work party.
His moonlighting work party.
Moonlighting work party. It's not even his full-time job.
Which is already, it's a B team of the job front.
Yes.
B team moonlighting holiday party.
Exactly.
Has he built a lot of friendships through this moonlighting job?
Not at all.
So I thought that was going to be the answer.
There's no.
So we got a layer of awkwardness on top.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Very obligatory.
Mm-hmm, great.
Yeah.
This is a recipe for success. And then where is this party happening?
I don't know. I just know it's a dinner. Kind of a nice dinner.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
That is kind of surprising.
Yeah? How so?
Well, just because of the COVID that's going on.
Oh, I know. I don't think they were counting on that.
Yeah. They were thinking that was going to be behind us.
Yeah, exactly.
I think everybody was thinking that was going to be behind us.
I know. It just keeps going, doesn't it?
It just keeps giving. Yep. Well, we were talking about how you often come to the studio in extreme weather.
Yes. Yes. Today it's cold. Mm-hmm. Today it's in the 20s.
It's very cold.
That's weird for Texas.
It is. It's like 26 degrees when I was driving over here at 10 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy.
Holy cow.
Cover your plants,
What time did you get here?
I got here at like 10:15.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Does that seem really early?
Are your plants surviving so far?
They are. And I'm doing the total redneck thing that you do, which is I'm covering them with sheets.
Sheets. Yeah. Yeah. That's what we did when we were growing up.
Yeah, it's a practical option, right?
Very practical.
Because I was too lazy to go Home Depot to try to get the legit landscape coverings.
Yeah. Nobody's got time for that.
Nobody does. And you would get there and they're sold out because this is when Texans buy that stuff.
I've never bought any.
Well,
I like to save it for other people.
Yeah. You're such a thoughtful person.
I let my plants die.
Yeah. We're like, you know what? This is part of life, right?
Yes,
it's a life lesson.
It's a life cycle.
Things die. They go back into the earth.
Yes.
And then they are reborn.
It's really important.
The phoenix rising.
That.
It is. You are so thoughtful in everything you do.
I know. It's very intentional.
Everything you do. So we have some big news to share with the podcast listeners.
What?
That you are officially moving, which the podcast listeners knew that.
But we know where.
We know where.
Yes.
So where are you moving?
Richmond, Virginia.
Richmond, Virginia. You heard it here first. This is going to be big news.
Yeah, we're going public.
You heard it here
the announcement.
first. Richmond, Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah.
So it could have been, Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Could have been LA.
Yeah.
But it's not.
And I'm personally glad.
I am too.
I think that's a better choice. I mean, Minneapolis is supposed to be cool, but it's supposed to be cold.
It's just too cold for me.
Too cold.
I'm afraid I might die.
You may. And LA is just too not as thoughtful as your life needs to be.
It's not thoughtful enough.
No.
They probably cover all their plans.
I'm sure they do. And they don't think about the life stories that could have been told. Missed opportunity. Just looking too much for the spotlight and forgetting the big picture.
That's right.
That's too bad.
So Richmond, Virginia. I've never been there, but I guess I will be soon.
You will be soon, and I will be too. I'm going to come visit you.
That makes
I'm going
me
to come
feel
visit
better.
you as many times as I can. I've already looked at Southwest Flats. That's how they say it in Texas.
That's right.
And I'm excited about it.
Oh, I'm so glad you're coming because that makes me feel like I have something to look forward to.
Yeah, it's going to be good. We're going to make it an adventure.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes. You'll have to plan my weekend getaways.
Yeah, I
with
will.
me.
I
Yeah.
will, for sure.
Yeah, I'll have to be a tourist for a year.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And so today you're here on camera.
I know. It's crazy.
I know there's lots of
I
lights.
keep forgetting the cameras are there, and I'm like,
That's good. You're a natural.
lights,
Lights,
And
camera
smoke.
action. Yeah.
all the special effects.
Smoke and mirrors. There's mirrors in here. There's smoke. You just can't see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm excited because this is I'm leveling up, as they say in the biz.
Amazing. Speaking
Yeah.
of your biz, how's
Yeah,
it going?
It's good.
Has it taken you by surprise at all?
So I've learned a lot. I've learned that, I had an idea going into all of this. So I decided I was getting a little restless in my job, as, started out as a landscape architect where I was practicing, and then going into the business development or relationship building side. And I was getting a little bit restless, and I couldn't put my finger on what it was. It was, but it felt, I describe it as like there was a gnat kind of or like buzzing around my head and just constantly swatting at it, like, go away, like I'm perfectly comfortable with what I'm doing, but there was something that was like, it's not enough. You got to keep pushing. You got to keep going down this road of discovering what it is. And so when I decided, really December 2020, I decided, okay, I think what I need to do is start my own business. And it started out as, this is going to be a business development consulting business. So I'm going to represent a bunch of groups that I find interesting, and mainly in the creative space. So, artists and architects and landscape architects, designers, textile designers, interior designers, anything that's kind of a creative industry. That's what really is interesting and inspiring to me. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a master list of all these groups. I'm gonna try to represent as many as I can, and soon figured out like there's just no way. There's so many conflicts of interest that I think it was going to confuse people if I went out and tried to represent all these groups. And there's also conflicts of interest. So if I try to go, if I'm representing an interior design firm, but then I'm also representing another firm that needs to gain business or build relationships with this other firm that happens to have interior design, then, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
So a good friend of mine, Jenny Muller, she said, why don't you start a podcast?
Yeah.
Because what you really want to do is you really just love learning about people's stories and their processes and how they got into what they're doing, and kind of learn more about their creative craft. And she was right. So I started the podcast, and I started the business development coaching and consulting practice. And essentially that has turned into, that's what's really started to morph and turn into something that I wasn't anticipating. And that's been really, really fun.
And what kind of businesses are you helping guys?
Yeah, so I'm still leading business development for Studio Outside. So that's kind of my main focus.
Which is landscape architecture.
It's landscape architecture. And then I've represented a few other creative groups. So a small firm in Austin, a small branding and graphics firm in Denver. And then now I'm working with a principal at an architecture firm here, doing some personal coaching, one-on-one coaching with her. And then I'm also doing a couple workshops. So I'm doing a workshops for small small landscape architecture firms nationwide. So it's going to be a virtual workshop. And then I'm doing another one for SMPS, which is kind of a marketing business development networking organization. So I'm doing a workshop for them next week. So the workshop part has been really cool and interesting.
Yeah.
So basically, though, the part that I'm really loving the most, that I'm honing into, is this human connection piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're all living in this world trying to find our way. And the more stories and the more lessons I learn on this podcast, the more I realize that we all have struggles, we all have dreams, we all have things that that we're working towards every single day. And I think a lot of times we feel alone, feel like we're the only ones, especially in the world of social media, which is one of my favorite topics, because you participate in this fabricated world of everybody's lives are full and perfect and everybody's happy. And this podcast is reminding me through all these conversations and lessons that I'm learning that it's not true. We're all struggling. We all have imposter syndrome. We all are experiencing great pain, but also great joy. And learning how people are navigating that, learning how people are coping, are growing from it. That is what is really filling me with so much joy and kind of satisfaction. And it's really, so I'm leaning into that. And I don't know where it's going to take me, but I feel like I'm learning so much.
Yeah. I love that you're coming from a place of curiosity and learning yourself. And yet you're such a, inspiration for other people. And that's what you do for a living is,
Well, thanks.
Yeah. Is teach them what you've learned, but you're always learning.
Yeah. So, I think there's a lot of people that have the growth mindset of just constantly pushing, constantly learning more. And it's what just fills me with energy and it excites me. And so yeah, I don't know where it's going to lead me, but I'm having fun doing it. So I'm glad people are enjoying the podcast, and I'm excited about video to see, if I can reach even more people. And so it's just fun to daydream about.
Yay. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
So funny that you mentioned social media because I've had the opposite reaction. So I work by myself as a physical therapist in my own practice, and I feel isolated a lot. Like I miss that interaction with other therapists, bouncing off ideas with them. And especially since COVID started, there's this online network of neurotherapists in a Facebook group, and that's been my saving grace.
Oh,
It makes me feel much less alone.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Yeah, I guess it's because I still work very much part of a team.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
With Studio Outside specifically, which I really, really love. And because I do like being part of a team, because I could see just when I started Studio Outside, when I started Connect 4,
Mm-hmm.
when I was ideating, how I could help people, it did feel very lonely because I had nobody to bounce ideas off of, like you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then the imposter syndrome really kind of rears its ugly head.
Yeah.
How do you overcome that?
I definitely struggle with imposter syndrome. I kind of just live with it. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say I overcome it. You just have to not listen to that voice at a certain point.
Yeah.
And I'm not perfect at it, but you just you prove yourself wrong enough times, you kind of start to believe it. So you just have to keep putting yourself out there anyway.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good, because definitely as, someone who's running your own practice very successfully, you run a nonprofit as well, and it's good to hear that, you can make it through.
Yeah. And I do better when I don't work on a team.
That's true. That is so funny. That is true.
Yeah. Because if I don't have to please anybody else but my clients, then I don't, get in my head.
That is so funny. I'd never really thought about that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you are that seems isolated just to work for you. Because otherwise, I feel like you're great in groups.
Yeah.
And like growing up, in athletics and dance, it's all about being a part of a group. Well, not always, I guess, but
it felt like an individual sport to me, just like gymnastics did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I grew up on teams and cooperating with others.
People. You learn that life lesson.
Yeah. It's funny that working by myself is so much easier than working for other people.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
I know you've gotten really good at it.
Well, it's really the only way that I work. It's so much easier. I wonder if anybody else out there is like me.
I'm sure. I'm going to have to like put out a special email specifically for questions for Valerie. Questions for Dr. Johnson.
Yes.
That sounds so much more official. So, all right. So you have this big holiday party tomorrow and embracing the cold weather because it's going to continue to be super freezing.
Yes.
So anticipate that.
I will. I'll get all bundled up with my sequins.
Nice.
Layer the sequins.
Yes, layer on layer. If anybody has a sequins jacket out there, well, by the time this is published, that'll be. Just hang on to it. People are going to need that.
It'll be too late.
Yeah, it'll be too late. But maybe next year. Well, thanks for coming by, Val.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I think that was really quick.
Update. But I
had to do a quick update with you and check in with you, and we're going to continue to do that. I'm
doing great.
Good.
Thanks for asking.
Thank you. And thank you always for your life lessons that you bring to us.
Yeah, anytime.
It's critically important.
Critical.
Okay. Stay warm out there.
Bye.
Bye.